On today's episode of Build Arizona, we'll be speaking with Ronnie Michael from Greenkeeper, Lush, and Great Western Pest Control. He's going to tell us about starting in the game 25 years ago and his journey from then to today. He's full of wisdom, and we had some great laughs. Stick around.
Ronnie, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're another episode of Build Arizona, and it's a pleasure to have you. If you could just go ahead for me and introduce yourself and give the listeners a little bit of backstory, the companies that you're a part of, and sort of the role that you're playing in those now.
Yeah, so I'm Ronnie Michael, born and raised here in Gilbert, Arizona. We have multiple companies, me and my partner. We started with the landscape company about 25 years ago, built that company up, and then, through bankruptcy and failure, we're back and rolling. And then we basically started the landscape company. We used to sub out all of our tree trimming to different subcontractors, and none of them were really good, and none of them were reliable. So we decided to start our own tree company, Greenkeeper Tree Care, too. So the landscape's Greenkeeper Landscape Management, and the tree company is Greenkeeper Tree Care.
Okay.
Also, before I merged back with my partner, through the 25 years of business, I've had a couple partners, but my original partner, he purchased a weed control company called Greenkeeper Weed Control. And when we merged, I got partner of weed control too. So basically have Greenkeeper Landscape Management, which is commercial and HOA landscape maintenance. Then we have Greenkeeper Tree Care, which does residential and commercial tree trimming. And we have Greenkeeper Weed Control. They do all the weed control, commercial, residential, stuff like that. We also have a pest control company, Great Western Pest Control. And we purchased a company called Valley Bee Control. So that gives us a
couple, and Lush.
And Lush. So the new company's Lush.
Yes.
That's the one that gets me the most excited. Obviously, it's a team of just great dudes that are hungry.
Mm-hmm.
And adding you to the team actually makes it a solid team all the way around. It's just a good group of guys, and it's blowing out numbers than we even expected. And I think we're like 7 months in. So
I know Adam told me what they did last month. He texted me. He was so excited because we hit the goal.
We hit the goal and surpassed the goal. And I think we were booked out last week all the way to like the 15th of April. So we're like, already 15 days plus booked.
Right.
So yeah, it's really good. So basically got all these businesses out. I have a partner, and me and him kind of work together. And then we bring in operation partners. So whoever runs each company, that's the operations manager, time vested, time in the business as they grow and they succeed. Then we offer them partnership.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of ties them in, but also gives them the benefit of, owning the business and not going to do their own thing. Because a lot of these guys are very capable of doing their own thing. But together we're a lot stronger than all of us separated. So
I was to say, that's really smart. That's something that I learned from you guys.
Yeah.
And the more that I work with you guys, see the structure a little bit more clearly. That's one thing that I know. It makes me laugh. I talked to a private equity guy a couple weeks ago, and they bought a roofing company. And lo and behold, this was like 2 years ago, they bought a roofing company. Lo and behold, they were operating at like $200,000 loss, like year over year for a couple of years. And they're like, what's going on? Well, when private equity came in, they don't know anything about the trades. They start making changes to try to make more money. All the good guys just leave and start their own company.
Yeah.
And they had, it's just funny to me because I'm sure you and I could see this coming a mile away, where it's like you change up leadership, you change up ownership, you change up the way that the things run, and then your good guys are like, wow, why am I here? I'll just go start my own company.
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of private equity guys, and I've seen it happen in my competition. They come in, they purchase a company, and the guys are gone, and they don't know how to. It's a little different. Maybe I don't know the other states, but in Arizona it's a little different. You got to answer your phone. You got to have that personal touch. You got to have the customer service, and you got to have a team that's hungry and they want to win.
Yeah.
Private equity comes in and think they're just gonna like corporate everything, corporatize everything, and it just doesn't seem to work here in Arizona. In like the landscape field, I don't know. Maybe pest control, it might work. That's a little bit easier. There's a lot of moving parts in landscape.
Mm-hmm.
You You got trimmers, you got blowers, you got weed eaters, you got dump, you got trailers, HOAs.
Yeah.
And everybody thinks you're a master gardener.
Yeah, exactly.
On their property, and they, if you trim a bush back, they think you killed it. They don't know you're actually doing a rejuvenation pruning, of the bush. So,
yeah, I think one thing that the private equity companies fail to realize is that a lot of the trades work based on respect.
Yeah.
If you have a leader of your company that's respected because he's done time in and he's done the work, like your guys respect the hell out of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like they'll follow a leader that they respect.
Yeah.
The second that private equity comes in, it's like, you didn't earn this spot. You bought this spot.
Yeah.
And it's like pretty quickly, it's like, I'm just going to go do my own company.
Well, it's just mostly it's like guys puffing their chest without actually doing the work to puff your chest. Exactly. So, you get guys like, we have like Cole, which you had on here last, and Cole's he's just the next level. His customer service. Like, I thought I was great. Like when I ran the landscape, everybody, like, where's Ronnie? Ronnie's great. And I brought Cole in, and they didn't even ask for Ronnie anymore. They're like, this guy, Cole,
where's Cole?
Where did you get Cole at? I'm like, what is going on? But I mean, on my side, I look back and I'm like, well, good hire, good job.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
hired a good guy.
Yeah.
I guess the goal is always to hire someone better than yourself. And I can say basically in every business we have, every operation guy is better than me and my partner at that position. Obviously my main partner in all the businesses. He's a very educated, very smart, very good person, and he understands finances, which I don't. I understand how to talk and sell. And that's about it. So
yeah. But, no, you're right. That's a testament to you for being able to see that in those guys that you're hiring.
Yeah.
It's like Adam with Lush, like phenomenal.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
unbelievable.
Like, just fantastic at what he does, extremely personable, extremely good at his job, right? Like, and I tell he is like the shining story of like, look, in 5, 6 months, 7 months, right? He's gotten like 140 5-star reviews.
Yeah.
Like,
I think he's almost 150 now. It's like he's going to surpass every one of my companies that have been in business from 20 to 25 years with, I think our landscape's probably 150 employees, and our pest control has, 8 techs, but those techs are asking for reviews, and they get incentivized to get the reviews.
Yes.
And Adam's going to pass them up in the first year. And that business, I think pest control's been in business for 20 years, our company, our pest control.
Yeah.
So Adam single-handedly is going to surpass every company I have single-handedly by himself. But he is a perfectionist, and he expects, the premium service. He's giving the premium service to everybody when he goes out.
And if you read his reviews, they're not just like, oh, Adam's great. It's like, Adam came out, Adam was amazing. Adam made me feel like $1 million. He made my yard look like $1 million.
Yeah.
He cleaned my patio while he was at it,
And that's what I explained to Adam. Like, okay, Adam, you've done such a great job. You got to make sure we make our first hire that he can keep that leveled up. Because if not, they're going to be ticked off. So you got to you've got to make sure you set the bar really high.
Yes.
And so you got to make sure those guys can stay at that bar level,
Yeah.
But you got to pay them right too. Obviously.
You got to pay him right. Yeah. Certainly, you got to pay him right, and they will respect him though.
Yeah.
Just like your guys respect you, they'll respect him because he's actually out there doing the
job. Yeah, I think that's where Cole and all my landscapers got in. They all clicked together is when Cole's out there mowing the grass while they have lunch. They're all eating lunch, and Cole's like, let me jump on the mower.
Let me do it.
Yeah. And I pull up and I'm like, Cole, why are you mowing? The guy's getting lunch. I just don't want to slow him down. I'm going to help him out.
That's a leader.
And then half the crew is on the side of the street trimming some bushes on the right side of the street, and Cole decides to grab a trimmer, go on the left side, and he out trims every one of them. And better trim and quicker and faster. And they're like, wow, this guy knows what he's doing.
Oh, no. Yeah. No, my first job in an Outburger, I had 3 different managers over the 6 years that I worked there. And my first manager was pretty good. He was good at delegating, and he would hop in every once in a while. My second manager would, every time it got busy, he'd walk into the walk-in fridge and just start texting, and my third manager, when it got busy, he would hop on the busiest grill and he would outpace everybody else in the store. And I'll tell you, working under the same store, same business, same stuff, we're just making burgers and fries. But the attitude in the stand, which what we call the kitchen, the attitude in the stand, when the boss is in there outworking everybody else, everybody goes, okay, well, I guess I got to work harder now.
Yeah.
Because I'm being outpaid. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what I think everybody in my company, most everybody, they set that standard. So the operations managers do. So they set it up, and then all the guys see, like, these guys are amazing. They've done my job. They're good at it. And they're leaders, And like you said, Cole will sit down and eat lunch with them, on the side of a tree.
Yeah.
You know, and so and same with David and the tree guys. You know, he gets out there that runs a greenkeeper tree care. Jared runs a weed control. He'll be out there doing the weeds, and same with Justin out there taking care of a night service with scorpions. You know? So it's a good group of guys that we got working for us. You know, like I said, 25 years. It's taken a long time to get the good team.
Yes.
And lots of failure.
Yes.
I basically failed in every part of life. But plus 5 years I've succeeded a little bit. So hopefully it keeps going that way.
Yeah, I mean, I see that for you. Absolutely. No, but it's a wonderful testament. And I'd say you're definitely the most seasoned and tenured guy that we've had on Build Arizona so far.
Yeah.
Which, I was really excited to have our conversation and talk to you because, like you said, there's so many wisdoms that you've learned along the way. And that's part of why I wanted to start Build Arizona. Like, yeah, it's a nice content machine and trust engine for Bent Creative, but the other piece of it is like there is, growing up with my uncle and grandfather that were in general contracting and home construction. Like I grew up with a lot of people at school and in college that would just kind of look down on the trades. You know what I mean? It's like this, like, oh, whatever. Better than sort of attitude towards the trades. And I'm like, these are some of the wisest people I've ever met because they're doing day in, day out infrastructure work that like your brainiac doctor wouldn't even understand, like how some of this basic stuff works. And so to me, it's like there is this innate wisdom and it's done through trial and error. And it's done through failure. And then like, it's not about, I love that saying. It's like, it's not about how you fail. It's about how you choose to get up. Keep going. And you're like an awesome testament of that.
You get beat up in business. I've been knocked out, like cold in the first round quickly, and slowly got back up, but I got up eventually. Like when I went bankrupt, I was scared because I was like 27, 28, making tons of money before then. Didn't understand the profit and loss sheet or balance sheet. I didn't have my partner that I do now. He understands that stuff. But and then
you understood wads of cash and
the
shoe in the closet.
I did have the shoe. I had a gun holster with money in my ex found.
You told me that story. I'm going to ask you about that story. You told me that story.
But it's a business. It's not always easy. When I first started it, everybody's like, you need to go get a job.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I can do this. And I can start it. I actually was at my cousin's house and we were. He has a banner company, my uncle did, and my cousin, and they were doing it. And my cousin's like, we should start a landscape company. That's how it all started. I was doing like some cage fighting, jiu-jitsu, martial arts and stuff, and some security. And didn't know what I was going to do with my life. Teach jiu-jitsu, fighting. I'm getting married, so it's not a good avenue to go fight because you're in that party lifestyle kind of. You're training all the time, and then you're in Vegas or you're wherever. So it's like I need to really change my direction of my life. And my cousin's like, let's start a landscape company. And I'm like, dude, I'm not no landscaper, bro. I'm never going to do that stuff. And he wanted to start a landscape construction company. And we kind of left it at that. That night I went home and I had a dream of a successful landscape maintenance company, of me growing this big company. And I woke up in the morning, I went right back over there and I told my cousin, his name's Gary. I'm like, Gary, let's do it. Let's do this.
Really?
Let's build this company. And I said, but not landscape construction. I want residual income. Let's do maintenance.
Yes.
I don't want to have to worry about getting work and keep getting work. That's scary. I want to sign a contract that I just have to keep doing good work and I keep the...
It's predictable.
It's predictable. And so he's like, all right, let's do it. So we started, and I think we did this like beach club. It was like a tanning salon downtown Gilbert. He let us like do some bushes and add some rock in his front of his place, which is kind of construction and maintenance. And then Mata's restaurant, they let us go do their restaurant, Chris Mata. And I remember we went out there and me and my cousin got done and he was asking us how much to charge. And we're like, $650. And he's like, you guys are crazy. I'll give you 150. I'm like, that's cool. That'll work. Wouldn't even know what to charge. So we took that money and went to Home Depot and we borrowed like all of our families. Borrowed, I think, my dad's trailer, my ex's grandpa's truck, I think my dad's chainsaw, some of the equipment from my uncle, and we just went out and started doing landscape. And
did you know what you were doing at that point? Were you just cutting limbs off trees?
I had no clue. But my cousin Gary, he's a handy guy, so he was pretty good at just telling me what to do. And I think I probably just ran the blower while he trimmed and did all the hard work. And then we basically, that's kind of the way we went. And started doing landscaping. Then me and my cousin focused more on the banner and the wraps and stuff like that and stickers. And so he kind of ended up staying back in that industry, and I took off and found a partner and grew it big. But
yeah. I mean, you guys have done phenomenally well with Greenkeeper.
Yeah. It was Great Western at the time.
That's right.
Landscape.
That's right.
Yeah. Then we actually went to Supercuts, me and my buddy Colin, and me and Colin, we didn't know what we were doing, man. We could sell, me and him. We were both the same. So me and him, we just go out and we would sell and we'd make money, and we thought we were the coolest guys in the world, and we'd buy whatever we wanted. And we didn't understand like a profit and loss sheet, a balance sheet, any of that stuff. And then, we didn't do very good in business. Yeah. Well, when the home developers quit paying us, it got real ugly. And so he went his way, I went my way. And then my old partner from back in the day, the one that has the accounting degree and that's really sharp, and me and him are completely opposite. He's an office guy and I'm the out in the field guy. You know? And we decided after like 4 years probably of discussions of partnering back up to get back after it. We did. And it's been, it's never easy, but it's, we butt heads a lot. We did. But every time it was a good reason. Yeah. We both usually weren't right. Somewhere in the middle was right.
You're somewhere in the middle. Yeah. And that's a good partnership.
Yeah, it's a good partnership. And we both would look at it that way, and we grew and got the right key players, Got a guy, Matt. He was our biggest competitor. And I told my partner, we got to hire that guy. Like, he's my biggest competitor in the pest control industry. Got him. And then was on a hunting trip. And I saw this kid just outworking everybody on this hunting trip, and it was Cole. And I'm like, hey, what do you do for a living? He's like, I do landscaping. I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy's got to come work for me, because I saw his work ethic. And
he had his, what was it, Bubba's mow and blow or something like that. Yeah.
He was doing residentials, and I think he worked 4 days a week, made enough money to pay his bills, and he was happy. But I was like, this guy's got so much potential, and I could see the potential in him. And he came in, and he took off, man. My company tripled in probably like 2 years. I mean, he's just next level.
Yeah. I was really surprised in our conversation, his background. I didn't realize he had gone to NAU, and he had a degree. What did he say it was? It was like parks management, I think.
Yeah.
And then he was doing the hunting and fishing guiding. And then of course that's seasonal. So he was doing the landscaping on the other, seasons. But and then he mentioned you had pulled him in, which is like the same story with Adam. So again, you have this knack of finding these guys that are.
Yeah, he was wanting to go down the career path of hunting, and I've been through it. I've had the hunting forums, I've guided, I know a lot of the successful people in the hunting world, and I'm like, dude, there's not a lot of money in it. Even if you're the head guy and you're the Cameron Haynes. Cameron Haynes makes money, but there's 2 or 3 people that make money in the hunting world, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, there's way more opportunity here, and took a little convincing, but eventually he came, he worked for me for like a year, I think. And then he kind of went and did some hunting stuff, but got a good offer. And then he came back, and I told my partner, I'm like, we got to make this guy.
We got to make it work.
We got to make it work.
We got to make it work.
This will be beneficial for all 3 of us. And we did. And we never looked back. And like you said, he's got an education.
He's sharp. He's very sharp.
Yeah, he's really sharp. So like he can comprehend anything. He understands everything.
Yeah.
Like me, I'm like, what were they saying there in that meeting? And he breaks it down in like my terms for me. So
again, it's a good brotherhood that you've surrounded yourself with.
Yeah.
And I think that's a unique talent that I've seen in you. Because again, you command respect by day in, day out, just doing the work.
Yeah.
And then a lot of guys look up to you because of that. Right. And so even though, and then it's healthy because in the reverse, you look up to them for their skill sets, know, and their things. And it's like, you guys are definitely, I remember a conversation, someone was asking me, they're like, would you take on, because with marketing, it's only a certain size market. Fortunately, there's a ton of home services here in Arizona, but someone asked me, they're like, would you take on another turf cleaning company? And I was like, no.
Yeah.
No. Not a chance.
Yeah.
Not a chance. I wouldn't take on another pest control company. It's like the group of guys that I'd hitch my wagon to with those specific trades.
Yeah.
Like it was clear to me day one when I met you guys. I was like, you guys, you're not just like, okay, let's make the next buck.
Yeah.
You're like, how are we properly structuring our companies so that we could continue to grow?
Yeah.
And that again, from your perspective, came from a lot of like you just would make some money, and like you said, you'd put it in a little holster.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I'd have steak, sometimes I'd have ramen noodles, depending on what was in the bank account. You know, I remember like, we got lots of money. It's Friday. We'll all go out to Outback Steakhouse. And then next Friday it was like, hey, Mom, you got some Kraft mac and cheese boxes I can borrow?
Yeah.
You know, I got to hit payroll. And we learned about that. But as we build the businesses, we've learned a lot. And so like, I just kind of lead all my guys on my end is like, we don't have to go through 2008 like I did.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got me and my partner, and we won't let you go through that.
Mm-hmm.
And so just let us guide you on that part. You guys go do work and kick butt, but don't take our guidance because we failed. We learned from
absolutely.
You know, and it's just you learn a lot from failure. So you get knocked down. You got to learn. And coming back, it's scary. You know, it's scary because payroll's scary. I came from, I had no money. You know, so like I had to hit a payroll. And when I was doing it by myself for those few years, after I filed bankruptcy, I went down from about 150 employees down to 4, and I had to start all over. And I remember all those accounting managers were my best friends. I took them boxes of chocolates, all of them. I'd go, hey, I got payroll tomorrow. Can you guys get me some checks? And like, I will push your checks through. I mean, they did stuff they probably shouldn't have done, approving checks without the manager signing off on them. And I'd go there and get checks, and I'd hit payroll. So I never did not hit payroll. There's sometimes I told my guys, don't cash your check till Monday.
Yeah. Here's your check, but don't cash till Monday.
Or Friday after 5, you know, when it doesn't register on the bank. But yeah, it's been a long road, but
gosh, there's so many questions. I feel like there's so many different avenues we could go down with, like, you know, I remember you telling me the story of doing the got weed sign, you know, and that's kind of how you started doing like weed pulling and you know, weed control, and you know, the city of Chandler called you.
So we had I saw like all the home builders putting up like KB Homes and all these home builders at Trend Homes, all these homes builders back then, they had signs up all everywhere. And everybody sees them. And back then you didn't even have lights everywhere. You had stop signs where traffic would back up forever. And I put a sign right there where everybody could see it. And I'm like, me and my old partner Sterling, we would go out, start at like 11 o'clock at night, and we'd go till 2 a.m, and we'd pound signs on every street corner. And we'd have like the Great Western landscape, you know, masonry, concrete, maintenance, construction. And then I started doing weed control on all their construction jobs. And I'm like, there's some money in weed control. So I just put up a sign, you know, back then it was a commercial Got Milk. And I'm like, let's do Got Weeds. Mm-hmm. So I put Got Weeds, I put it everywhere. And I was so busy. I remember making like a 1 week, and I made like 14 grand. And back then, and this is like 25 years ago or 20 years ago. And I remember putting that money in my pocket. Yeah, and I was like hiding the money from my wife, and she found it, and she was.
I'm sure that was a fun conversation.
Yeah, I told her I was saving it to buy her a Christmas gift, which wasn't true. I was just saving it. I was saving it as an emergency fund, you know, because we had no emergency fund. Yeah, and I'm the one that has to hit payroll, so it's scary when you're running your own business, and you got to hit that. So you always. You know, Dave Ramsey says have a 6-month emergency fund. You should.
Yes. I mean, we try to practice that in our own business. And no, when I started my business, just building websites, a job would come in, I'd do it, I'd get paid. It was my money. Yeah. Right. As my team has grown, it's like I'm responsible every month now. You know, these guys are looking up to me of like, you know, to them, they don't have that stress that I'm carrying of like, okay, has this person paid me? Has this come in? Can I move this here? Have I taken the taxes out? Have I done all these things? Can I pay them at the end of the day? Like, is the money in the right bank account? Has it moved over yet? Like,
scary.
It's scary. Clear. It's scary. Yeah.
Well, I have a check next week. Mm-hmm. Can I actually afford this to eat tonight? Yeah. Can I get groceries? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's scary. Yeah. I remember doing that. That's thankful I have my partner. I don't have to stress about that.
Yeah. It is nice.
And that's his thing. So if we're not profitable or we don't have the work, that's on me, you know, and Cole for landscape and different guys for different companies. But our biggest companies are landscape. So that's the one that's like the one that I probably gives 60% of my attention, you know?
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. And Greenkeeper is just commercial.
Commercial, landscape, maintenance, HOAs, you look shopping centers, stuff like that. We do everything. Okay. Basically just trimming the bushes, and then we enhance the properties too. So if they want to do new granite throughout the whole properties or plants and trees, we do that too.
Oh, okay.
We have improvement crews too.
Oh, okay. So you're actually coming in doing some of that
add-in stuff.
Yeah, that add-in stuff. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah. And then with Great Western Pest Control, you have, I mean, your guys were over at our office last week.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. We have, what, 5 parking spots in our parking lot
man,
with 9 or 10 to come.
Trucks. Yeah, all the trucks are here. No, that's
I took a video as I drove back in with the tacos, right? I came back in and I'm like, look, Mom, I made it. Look at how
like all the people at my house.
trucks.
Yeah, we're like, I love you doing the headshots because when the guy serviced the properties, it's going to show who's at their house. You know, you never know who's showing up, and it shows a picture of who's coming. But you know, wanting to make sure that service is really good. There's a lot of opportunity in the pest control industry. It's a very saturated market, so you have to do the best, or you probably won't succeed. I mean, if you just got your truck and you're doing some family and friends' houses and knock some doors, you probably could be okay paying your bills. But if you really want to succeed, you got to separate yourself from everybody else.
Yeah. And that's what you guys are doing at your companies.
Yeah.
Which is like, and that's where I think you guys see the fit with me. Yeah. And I would say, you know, I work to deliver leads. That's the base level operational agreement with me and my clients is like I work to provide you leads, because if I can't prove I'm providing value to your business, then there's no reason to have me. Yeah. You guys, I would say, utilize me even more. Yeah. And it's a great,
maybe abuse you a little bit. Yeah. I'm like, this guy's really getting his money's worth from us. Bring us tacos and everything.
Absolutely. No, I mean, I would always, as I tell you all the time, I appreciate the opportunity to work, and you guys have blessed my business, and you've given me, you've sent people my way over and over again.
Yeah.
And well, it's exciting for me because I would get stagnant in my business too if I was just to rinse and repeat. And certain aspects of my business have to be rinse and repeat, right? Getting leads is a rinse and repeat process.
Yeah.
And I have to systematize those things. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to grow my company, right? If I was doing that day in, day out, as opposed to building systems that I can leverage to do that for me, right? You guys are always striving to be next level. Yeah. So it's like, how do I strive to be next level alongside you? Yeah. And just being partnered with you has made me grow, my own, like the headshots and, like being able to come out and do video and photo. Cause you guys used Alex. We partnered with Critical Frame, Alex, and you guys used him for Lush, and he did a phenomenal job. Yeah. But it was challenging because it was like, now we're working with a couple of different businesses. Where are the expectations at? Yeah. We really need this to just be done. Like, let's remove some friction here. And so when Alex, decided to pursue more education and left for school, it was like, I don't want to go find another photographer. I want, and I had Alex actually sit down and teach me a lot of stuff. And I'm not to his level, but I'm good enough to where it's wrapped into our service offerings to now it's like, okay, cool. You've signed with us. We're going to go do some photos with you. You're going to get a headshot at the office. If you want, you can come on to Build Arizona. We can talk about it. We'll have some easy video content. I'll come out with a video camera and follow you around. Yeah. And now all those offerings are wrapped into one thing. And that's really largely influenced because you guys needed this. Yeah. And I didn't know until I was met with the guys of a high standard that were like, this is what we need. And I'm like, well, I want to play ball with these guys. Yeah. And so I'm like, let's learn how to do this.
You proved yourself very quickly with Lush. We just had an idea. This friend of mine was sending me videos of, this company cleaning the yard. She's like, you should do this. And I'm like, I think I could do that, and I just got a report from my weed control company, like numbers were down because our weed control also does fertilization of grass on residential houses and commercial, and they do like the pre and post emergent and olive tree spraying, stuff like that. And our weed control numbers were down, our fertilizing numbers were down because weed control, because there's no rain, fertilizing because everybody's transitioning to artificial turf. That's what they said. The same time as a friend of mine's like, you should do this business. And I'm like, it's a no-brainer.
2 and 2 are right there.
And I thought about it like 3 or 4 years ago, and I thought about it, but I never really acted on it. And she started sending me videos of them doing it. And she really you can do this. I know you can do this. And I'm like, I think I can do this. I had a little meeting with my guys, and some guys were like, with my head guys of all my companies, and a lot of guys were not in on it. Cole was like, let's do it. And then I mentioned to Adam, he was just my friend. He's a UPS driver. And I mentioned, he goes, the next day, he's like, that sounds like a great idea. The next day he calls me like, dude, I'm in. I'm your man. Let me do this. And he started telling me all about it. And I was like, and he kind of just forcefully kept telling me more and more. And I looked at Cole. I'm like, hey, we should go meet with Adam. Yeah. I mean, he works for UPS, but on my end, I didn't want to bring any of my friends in my business because I failed before. So he's got kids, he's got a wife. And so like I bring him in from a UPS job that has benefits, retirement, stability, to a new job that we don't even know if it's going to be good. And he did it, everything he thought he needed to do. And he said, let's do it. So then we brought him into Darren, and we made a partnership, and we've exploded with your help, because we didn't know how we were going to get no work. I mean, how we were going to get any work. And we met with you, and I'm like, Adam's like, dude, the phone doesn't stop ringing. The emails don't start coming. Like, we're just exploding. And I mean, you brought the work in. And it's been great. So, and Adam's been so good at answering that phone, giving that customer service. That's why he's got all the reviews. That's why we're profitable. I think we're month 7th right now, and we're really profitable this month. Last month was very little, but we made a profit. And I mean, we still have some debt to pay, but we're net profit.
Net profit, yeah.
Month, yeah. So yeah, it's been great, and I think there's it's excited to see where that goes.
Yeah. And it's not slowing down.
No, it's not.
I'm blind copied on all the leads just to make sure that there's nothing that falls through the cracks.
I love that, yeah.
And I'm like looking at my inbox, and it's like yesterday is a great example. I cleared my inbox by like 10 a.m. I think I had like 4 or 5 emails left. I was like, I'll get to these throughout the day. By the afternoon, by like 4 or 5, I looked at my inbox again. I had like 36 emails. And it was all leads.
No way.
It was like, there was like 5 or 6 for Adam. Like a couple were from Yelp, but like 3 or 4 were from Google, right? And then I had some for some other companies, right? And I just was like, that feels nice, right? Because it's like, it's working. Like, the systems that we implement work, and sometimes I feel bad for Adam, because I'm hounding him, because I'm like, man, when we first started, we made all the, these photos and videos, and they typically have like a 3 to 6 month cycle before they get exhausted. And what I mean by that is, like, people see your ad over and over again. They just scroll past it.
Yeah.
And so we need to keep changing up the creative. And I'm like, Adam, I need to get, just tell me a job anywhere in 10 miles away from my office, and I'll come over and film it. And he's like, dude, I'll get you my list. Can't. He's so busy. He's so busy. He's answering the phone. He's doing 10 different things. And I'm just like, I mean, that's good. At least you're not we're not able to meet, because you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to work with this guy.
Yeah, he's just so busy. And that's what I told him. Like, okay, now, because he reminds me of myself at the beginning. I'm like, I got to lead him the right way. I'm like, you got to get that phone out, and you got to hand it to the office manager. You got to hand it over to Brittany. Let her trust that she's going to do it. Train her first, so she's going to be able to do it.
Yes.
Test her.
Yeah.
Practice with her. Have her take some calls.
Yes.
And when you feel confidence, hand it over. It's hard, especially when it's his baby.
Yes.
It's his baby.
It's hard. Yeah, because you have the control of it. But it's like, you've got to. That's one of the things I've learned in my business too. As a business owner, you have to remove yourself from fulfillment to a certain level, and you have to trust that your team can do it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you'll be stuck doing fulfillment forever.
Yeah.
And then you won't have a company. You have a glorified job.
Yeah. So,
you know what I mean?
Adam, we can't have you out there cleaning turf every day.
Yeah.
You have to be a leader. You have to be the operations manager. You got to be looking over everybody and making sure everything's happening right.
Yeah.
But he handed the phone over yesterday. So hasn't handed the emails over yet. He handed the phone over yet. He called me. He's like, I did it. I handed the phone over. I'm like, good job, man.
Good.
Because Brittany's sharp. She'll be fine.
Good.
And
good.
It's great. So it's a fun. Anytime you start a business is good, especially if you're 7 months in and you're starting to be profitable. So
and in many cases, I found with at least myself and my team, when you hand things off, they actually have more bandwidth and can do a better job.
Yeah.
And, I joke with Adam a little bit, because I can see the text messages going back and forth on Yelp, and I can see, I can listen to the call logs on CallRail, and it'll be like, my response is like, hi, wave emoji. It's like, we're Lush Turf Cleaning, and we're da 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 da. I'm gonna send you over to Adam, and then it's just like, hi, this is Adam. I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
Like, dude, give him a little bit of hey man, I'm available at this time.
How you doing? He's out there cleaning turf.
Yeah, he's like literally texting in the middle. He's like doing one job. He's like spraying. He's like trying to text back. Poor guy. Like he's so busy. He's so good at execution. But
when we bought the bee control company, I started calling all these people we do work with, and I'm like, hey, we have a bee control company. And a lot of them already used the bee control company we bought. And then I had a manager call me one day, and he's like, hey, no one's answering your phone. I'm like, what? And I know me and my partner just spent a lot of money on buying this bee control company. So I went down to the office, took the phone, took all the paperwork, and I basically told my partner, I'm going to run this until we get the right team. And I did all the jobs, but I remember being out there getting attacked by bees, and the phone's ringing, and I'm like, and you're trying to get to your truck, and like if you leave like something unzipped, you're getting lit up by bees. So I remember getting stung till my throat was out like this. And then eventually my partner's like, dude, you can't, like I'm telling Adam, you can't be out in the field. Dude.
Yeah.
You got to be out running stuff, building businesses,
Yes.
building the businesses. And so I finally headed over to our pest control and Justin, and they ran with it. So, but I was out doing the jobs, taking the phone calls, I think I did 26 bee jobs in one day, was over my record. And,
That's insane, dude.
But I feel Adam, and I told Adam, like, dude, you're just like me, and it's hard to give it over.
Oh, for sure. Well, you have pride in your work.
Pride, yeah.
I mean, the good thing about learning it though is you know, it's like I have this conversation with a lot of customers that come over my way where they're like, I feel like my last agency didn't do their job. And it's because like a lot of agencies, it is a sales guy who doesn't know how to do the work, and he relies on an outsourced team. And it's fine, like the work gets done, but like because he doesn't know what's possible, because he's never done the work before, he really can't relay what needs to actually get done.
Yeah.
And I've built over 100 websites. And so by the time I'm relaying things to my team, it's like I know exactly when I'm talking to you what you're trying to tell me that needs to be translated to website terms so that I can then take it and make sure it gets built properly. Right. And it's like it's the same thing with the private equity where like the guy comes in, never done a roof in his life, and is like, well, why don't you do it this way? And it's like, you're an idiot. You've never done this before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you do get some of that respect going in and doing all those jobs. And then when you relay it to someone and they're like, man, we need XYZ because of this, you're like, I know the pain because I did it, and you're right. Let's make sure that's taken care of.
Yeah. And I think after you know it, like you said, you can help the operations manager, whoever execute it the way you think it should be executed. You know, and if you get someone that's really good, you'll learn even more from the new guy that's taking charge.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that's hard. I think especially for guys is like you build a lot of pride in your systems and processes because it really is like a reflection of an extension of you. And then someone comes in and they might know how to do it a little bit better, and it's a little bit of a struggle to like, all right, I should shut up and listen to this guy.
Yeah, for sure. That's happened with every one of my guys, basically. Every one of the operations and managers of each company. As soon as I've handed it to them, it was like, wow. And even like my office manager, I used to take a stack of invoices like this, or they were like work orders that the irrigation techs would fill out. And it would be like this thick, and paper by paper, I'd have to price out everything with markup and labor and add it up, alphabetical order, and then do invoicing through QuickBooks. And I remember my partner and one of my workers, Matt's like, dude, you got to hand that off, bro. You got to hand that. I'm like, dude, this is the money. This is how we eat. If they like just lose a half of the stack of paper, that's thousands and thousands of dollars a week. So eventually I trained the lady in my office, Catherine, and then I like double checked her work, and she made no mistakes. And then I did it a few times because she didn't have time, and then she double checked my work, and I made lots of mistakes. And she was like, there was one I made this like $1,200 mistake, and I was like, oh wow. Yeah, you're good. You got this. And I gave it to her, and she's amazing. She doesn't make mistakes. She really doesn't. I think I maybe found one mistake in 10 years. She's been doing it now. So yeah, she's amazing. But yeah, it's great when you put all the right pieces in place, because running the business when it's not running smoothly is really not fun. It sucks. Yeah. When you have all the right players in place, it's a fun, it's challenging, and it's not ever about the money for me, because I don't really care about the money. I do like the freedom and be able to do what you want. It's challenging, it's fun, and building a good culture within the business and all your employees and everybody, where they enjoy coming to work, and and it's a good atmosphere, and this creates success.
Would you say that's how your perspective is different? I'd say like, when you first started, it probably is a lot of focus on the money. And then when you realize that uplifting your team and then the challenge of like the market, like you don't ever want to like purposefully crush someone and put them out of business, but you want to compete, and competition is fun. And let the market decide who the victor is, and show up and do your best day of work every time. You know what I mean? And I think when you're first starting, because you're in sort of a scarcity mindset, you're focused on the money, and where you're at now, you're more focused on how do I make sure my team is winning, and then the money is probably just flows now as opposed to then.
So when I merged with my partner the last time, and now we've been partners ever since, he basically was like, give everybody raises. And I'm like, we can't afford that. He goes, you got to pay them more. And so I started paying them more. Obviously, our profit went down, but our quality went up. And then I realized, okay, well, I need to increase these contract prices, do increases, which I never did. I never did increases. Most competitors of mine do 3% every single year, cost of living increase, at least 3%. So I started doing job costing on properties, kind of old fashioned, but I did it and started doing increases. Then you realize, okay, we're giving our guys enough time to do the job, the best service, to do a premium service. Not just, I think back in the day, I would pay them the cheapest and I would bid it the cheapest so I'd get the account. Because you had to make a name for yourself. You, like, hey, you give me a property when they have 10 other landscapers? It's a saturated market too. And there's a lot of good landscapers back in the day when I started. Now there's not too many because they're all getting bought out by private equity. And so when I raised the hourly rate on my guys, and then we realized pay everybody more, pay the guys what they're worth, and give them the time to do a good job. So you charge more. Yeah, you're going to get rid of those people that don't want to pay, the cheap people, but we don't want the cheap people. We want people that want a good service. Yeah, and we're going to give them a good service. And so when I do presentations against competitors of mine, I pay about $3 more per hour per each one of my guys. So yeah, our profit margins are less. We don't charge the most, but we don't charge less either. We're right in the middle. So we're able to make a little bit less profit margin, but our quality is good, which makes my life better. The managers I work for better, the board members, these office, the owners of these offices and restaurants we do. So yeah, it makes it a very fun job.
Yeah, I was saying, I think a lot of young guys make that mistake early on of like, how do I just increase that bottom line? Like, how do I increase margin as much as I can? And you learn along the way that like sometimes just peace in your operations is well worth the little bit less in your profit margin. Like guys that are happy to show up to work, right? And they're happy to do their job. And then your customers are happy because a nice job was done. Your stress, like if someone was like, here's $1 price to put peace on your mind that your business is going to run itself when you go to sleep tonight, you'd pay it, as an owner. And it's like, you actually can pay for that. It's called giving your guys a raise and then doing good work because of it. You know what I mean?
And what's crazy is my partner's like, how this one HOA we did, he's like, how much do you like that property? I'm like, he's like, how much time do they take? And I'm like, every day I have to go there. They're a pain in the butt. And he goes, what if I told you if we got rid of that property, I can't remember the exact number, it was like, we'll make $2,500 or $3,500 more a month by just getting rid of that property. That's how much we're losing doing that property. I'm like, no way. And then he showed me the numbers. I'm like, all right, let's get rid of it. We got rid of it and we started making money. But on that same point, we did increases. And all the people that didn't accept our increases were all the people that complained all the time, the ones that took all of our time, the accounts you didn't really even want. So we lost them. Our profit margins went up and the phone calls went down and it was crazy. And then what happened 6 months later? They all called back. They all wanted us. And we're like, well,
there's an increase.
There's an increase now.
There's an increase now.
Because you weren't loyal. And then it's still a fair price, but
But if you're going to deal with them again, that you have to be prepared for that, and there's a cost for that. There's a cost for that.
What I think I finally realized, and a lot of business owners don't realize this: your experience and your hard work, you deserve a profit. You deserve to make money. Yeah. To me, I was just trying to pay my bills. Yeah. But you're out there training these guys, failure, wins, losses, or whatever. You learn and you deserve to make a profit, a fair profit. So when you value that, you start, it's okay if you don't get the account. Because, there's other guys that'll do, there's older Ronnies out there that'll do it for free.
There are plenty of people that'll do it for that. And let them learn.
I'm not doing it for the experience anymore. I'm doing it because I want my guys to make money. I want my team to make money. Being a crappy landscaper and an unprofitable landscaper is not fun. It's the worst job in the world. But if you're profitable and you create a good culture and everybody's making money from your laborers down to your foremans and irrigation techs and your office, everybody's making more money than most people are. Everybody loves working there. And it's fun. So it's been good.
Yeah, that's something that I think, as I've grown my business as well, I've come to understand, I would love there to be a level of everyone on earth is taken care of. Their base level needs are taken care of. I still think that those who show up in work and those who organize themselves into companies that do good work should stand to profit higher.
Yeah.
Like if you want to spend your time on this earth doing that, and you do a good job, and you align yourself with people that do a good job, and you make everybody's life better, right? Like there should be a return for that. And and I think it's really interesting listening to your story today. And you know, we've known each other for, you know, probably the same time we've been working with Lush. So probably 6-7 months, right? And just hearing your story and knowing a little bit where you came from and where you're going, and seeing, you know, and I get to see from the outside looking in, like, again, the respect that your guys give you. You know, it's really neat to see this sort of like, I don't know. It's almost this like position of you're this nexus of a lot of work revolves around you because of how much time and effort you've put into this, and a lot of guys gravitate towards you. And you've been through the pitfalls, and you've come to where you are now. And it's like you're deserving through that hard work and that effort, and you've built a culture around you of respect and friendship and loyalty and people that want to show up and work. And it's like, absolutely, you should see the benefit of that. Like, absolutely, because then it continues to drive you to do those things. Yeah. Right. It's an incentive from the market to the company that's doing what the market wants. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's fair for you to be a shepherd of those resources. Not only is it money from the customers, but it's the time of your guys. Yeah. Right. Those are valuable resources in a community. And like, you are the nexus of which that revolves around. Like, that's a very important role to play. Yeah. And to pull those guys in and to structure that culture is work. Yeah. Like, it takes a lot, and it's a lot of time. It's an investment of your life to get to where you've gotten. Yeah. And now you have all these guys around you, and I cheer for you. I love you, man. Like, you're fantastic. Like, same, man. You have benefited my business. Literally, it's like you're this light that walks into my office, and all of a sudden I get more work. You know what I mean? It's like you literally have this nexus around you, this gravity that you hold because of the position that, you know, that you're in and that you've worked yourself into. And so I cheer for your success, you know, because like you have worked hard. And, you know, and I do love to see that for you. Yeah. And love that you share that with me.
No, it's great. And you've been a big asset to us. And, you know, like you, like you said, you started with the Lush and it exploded. Now we're doing pest control, and I'm excited for pest control because those are two markets you can really scale if you do everything right. So yeah, the sky's the limit right now. We just keep cranking and see what happens.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I want to be respectful of your time here. We've gone about 45 minutes. It's noon. Do you have more time, or do you want
we got some little entrepreneurs walking in.
Oh, that's right.
12. So
okay. Okay.
But let's get on here again.
I'll just say, well, we've talked about too. So we have much more to talk about, and you in particular, we've talked about this with your personal brand too, where you not only just this last thing that I was talking about, this nexus of gravity that you have, where there's this community that's around you. It's also reflected on your social media, where you have a lot of followers and you have a lot of influence. And so I'm like, Ronnie, let's keep, you know, if this is a family and friends game, like let me help you succeed. And so let's get in here and let's make more content, and let's get your wisdom out in front of the guys that need to hear it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because you're a library of knowledge, and so
appreciate it.
Let's get it out. Well, Ronnie, thank you for your time, man.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much.